Hello, my friends. This is Ana Saravia. I hope you are having a great day today. I've been doing lately stationary, if you will, videos about important subjects because there is no question about it. Excuse me, this market is shifting. So we are primarily listing team. That doesn't mean that we don't work with buyers. We do have buyers agents and stuff, but what we do most definitely it's sell properties. So most of the things that I can relate to as far as what's working and what's not working as a seller come from a seller perspective. So let's regroup a little bit. We do know that currently in San Antonio we have a little less than 3 months, of inventory. So what does that mean? That means that it's still a very somewhat limited inventory. We also know that most builders have also scaled down, building properties, even though that's mostly at a national level. Here in San Antonio, since we have another business, we manufacture custom beams and, stuff for builders. The orders for beams has not decreased. So I guess, and we do work with some of San Antonio's biggest builders. So again, I am talking about a nationwide perspective as far as what's going on. I read a lot about, in some places, builders selling, inventory homes in big bulk to investors. Here in Texas, we're a little more shielded than a lot of the other markets. Florida, with the hurricanes and insurance issues and so on, obviously the cost of living and the cost of properties, other states, California, New York, and so on and so forth. But here in San Antonio and in Texas in general, we are never in any of those lists that are talking about a really deceleration, slowdown, and even price drop. We haven't had any price drop yet, and I don't think that we will. I've been reading something much more local regarding we're going to be moving side to side, but the reality is if you are thinking of selling, the more you wait, the only big risk that I see is that there's going to be more inventory. We cannot keep this at 3 months. Usually San Antonio, again, has 6-9 months of inventory at any given moment. So right now, funny enough, I was saying I'm mostly a listing agent, but we've been helping buyers lately, and we've had yet at certain price points to fight in a multiple offer situation. So what are the things that are really helping sellers get the most money for their home? You're not going to believe it, but I think having pre-inspected the property and knowing exactly what's going on with the house so that you can convey that to a buyer saves a lot of time for both seller and buyer. Talking back to this family that we've been helping buy a home, we've written already 3 offers, and each and every time as a buyer agent, I called the other side to find out the general condition, because a lot of them, they had no seller's disclosure because they were state sales and some other reasons or criteria that doesn't provide or does not obligate a seller to disclose the condition of the house. So even though, they were renovated, behind the beautiful paint and, the nice updates on flooring or whatever, the bones of the house were horrific. So as a seller, I do not want my property to be off the market for 7-10 days because that's the norm, again, for option periods, only to find out the buyer's going to walk out. So it does make sense to me as a seller to know exactly what's wrong with my house so that I can determine the things that I am going to address or not, so that I can convey that to the buyer upfront and then find out, is this going to be a deal breaker? Really, keeping $50 or $100 for option and taking your house off the market for 10 days is not worth it. So on today's conversation, I will leave you the one thing that you first have to consider before putting your house up for sale is consider the possibility of having it inspected and know exactly what you're going to be finding in that inspection. You might find sometimes that it's a lot less expensive to address issues, then wait for a buyer, to negotiate with you how to go about addressing those issues. So that really makes a lot of sense. I will be giving you more tips about that as we go along, but that is today's number one reason or number one thing to do before you put your house up for sale in today's market. Thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate if you were to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, or if there's any specific topic that you would like me to talk about, just let me know. Thank you so much.